Lesson 6.3 from the algebra book is solving linear systems by adding or subtracting. Sometimes this is called the elimination method because we are choosing to eliminate one variable from both equations. It's similar to substitution because we will use the substitution method as part of it, but first we're going to eliminate a variable. And again, there's three steps. The first step is to add or subtract the equations to eliminate one variable. The only way we can eliminate is by doing the opposite operation. So if I have a 2x, to eliminate a 2x, I need to subtract a 2x, and that gives me 0. If I have a negative 3y, then to eliminate it, I have to add the 3y, and that gives me 0. So eliminating, we are doing the opposite operation. Second, we're going to solve the resulting equation just like for substitution, because then we're going to have it in terms of one variable. And then the third step, we substitute this answer from step 2 back into either equation that we started with. So we're not really putting it back into step 1, we're putting it into one of the original equations. So let's do a couple examples here. So the first thing you need to do, if they are not arranged in columns, is you need to arrange the like terms with each other. And remember, like terms have the same variable to the same power. So I want you to rewrite it over here. We have 9x minus 2y equals 5. I'm going to choose to put the x and the y terms both on the left. So I already have the 2y on the left, and I'm going to line it up underneath the negative 2y. But I need to move the 11x, and by doing that I need to add it to both sides. So this is a positive 11x, and then I do have a positive 2y equals 8. And remember, I know this is a positive 2y because technically this is 0 plus 2y, so I knew this was a 2y here. Now to eliminate, I'm going to look and see with my x variables or my x terms, are the exact same or the exact opposite? And they're not either, because I have a 9 coefficient and an 11. So then I move on to the y's. I have a negative 2 and a positive 2. They are the exact opposite. Well, if they're the exact opposite, I can go ahead and add them together, and that will eliminate them. So that's what I'm going to do. So you have to add all the like terms across the equation. So 9x plus 11x is 20x. Negative 2y plus 2y eliminates, so I can just cross it off. I don't have to write it down. And 5 plus 8 is 13. Now, I'm not actually going to finish this equation. I know to solve this, I would divide by 20. And my x would end up being 13/20. I'm not actually going to start you off with 1. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this because I said that you could use your calculator. So let's go ahead and do this. You can use your calculator. So I want to substitute this back into one of these original equations. I generally go for the first equation. So I'm going to go 9 times 13/20 minus 2y equals 5. So then I'm going to go ahead and I'll take my calculator just like you. I'm just going to do it off screen. So I end up getting 5 and 17/20 when I use the calculator minus 2y equals 5. I'm going to go ahead and subtract the 5 and 17/20. And when I do that, I get negative 2y equals negative 17/20. And now, let me change the color so it's easier to see. I'm going to divide by negative 2. And when I do that, I end up with y equals 17/40. So my final answer here, remember, no matter what system you're solving, this is where the lines will cross. And this would not be a super fun one to graph because we're in 20ths and 40ths, but that's okay. Let's move on to the second equation. So again, I have, in this case, I do have the proper terms lined up on the correct side of the equation, or the equal sign. 6 and negative 2 are not the same and they're not opposite, but y plus y, those are both the same. They have a coefficient of a positive 1. I want to eliminate this bottom y term. So remember, when you're eliminating, you do the opposite. So the opposite here is I need to make this a negative 1. So what I want you to do is I want you to add the opposite of all of these bottom terms, only the bottom terms. So you're going to add the opposite when terms are the same. So make sure that you write that down. So, and go back up here and write this down. You're going to, add when terms are opposite. So when they are opposite, you just add. When they are the same, you add the opposite. So I have a 6x plus now a positive 2x is 8x. These terms eliminate because I have a positive y plus a negative y. And that equals 39 plus 17 is 56. Now I divide by 8 to solve this equation. X equals 7. This x equals 7 goes back into the top or bottom equation. Again, I like to put it in the top usually. So I have 6 times, I found my x was 7, plus y equals 39. So 6 times 7 is 42, plus y equals 39. I'll subtract the 42, and y equals negative 3. So my ordered pair is 7, negative 3. Let's try a couple more. It's okay when you have fractions, and actually these are not like or opposite anyway, so I'm going to focus on the 6y and the negative 6y. They're exact opposites, so remember you add. Well, if I have a negative 2/3 and a positive 1, I get a positive 1/3 x. Again, if you need to, go ahead and use the calculator for this because that's not the concept I'm trying to teach. 38 plus negative 33 is 5. So now I'm going to go ahead and if you divide by 1/3, that's the same as multiplying by 3. So x equals 15. I'm going to choose now to put this in the bottom equation simply because the bottom equation doesn't have fractions. Remember I told you I almost always put it in the top, but sometimes I choose to put it in the bottom. So I have 1 times 15, or just 15 minus 6y equals negative 33. I'll subtract the 15. So negative 6y equals negative 48. Divide by negative 6, and y equals positive 8. So my solution is 15, 8. Last one, I'm not eliminating the x's, but I am going to eliminate the y's. And again, they're fractions, but that's okay. At least they are identical. Remember, when they're identical, you add the opposite of every term in the bottom equation. So I have 7x plus a negative 2x is 5x. I just eliminated the y's. Negative 29 plus 9 is negative 20. So I will divide by 5. And x equals negative 4. I'll go ahead and put this into the top equation. 7 times negative 4 minus 1/3 y equals negative 29. So I get a negative 28 minus 1/3 y equals negative 29. Add 28. And I get a negative 1/3 y equals negative 1. Multiply now by a negative 3, or divide by negative 1/3, either way, and y equals positive 3. So my solution here is negative 4, positive 3. And that is it for this section of notes. As you could see when I flipped it, you are going to have story problems eventually. Your assignment is from the algebra book. It's lesson 6.3. We'll call this part 1. And it's on page 389, and I want you to work on problems 4 to 20 even.